Morning Networking, where we connect the faces of local business with our community and we help you get your message out. As always, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy Friday to join us. Today's business host is totally committed to making some of the best things you'll ever put in your mouth. Kim Clifton is the owner of Sirius Baking Company and a whole lot more. But before we get to our host today, I think we have some new guests with us. If you're a new guest, will you please identify yourself just with a quick show of your hands? Great, Fiona and Neil. And I think Joyce is new as well. Thank you. It's always great to see new faces, and we welcome you to our Friday morning virtual networking session. We will give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business later today, just before we break into small groups for some more intimate networking. And if you haven't been here before, I'll just give you a little rundown. We're going to hear from our business host. And then after that, we're going to hear from our executive director, Liz Hartman. She's going to keep us abreast of all the latest happenings and opportunities in our community, after which we'll let you introduce yourself. And then we'll break into some smaller groups before coming back for a wrap up and shout outs for our community members. With all of that said and that housekeeping done, let's get right to our host. As I mentioned, Kim is dedicated to making some serious treats, but she's also serious about giving back to her community. Kim has been a member of our chamber since 2015. And in that time, she's become a chamber board member where she serves as the chamber sustainability liaison. And not only has she graduated from Leadership Lake Oswego, she has also served as a tri-chair for the class. And she still makes time to be an ambassador for the chamber. Now here's my Vanna White moment, all while making tasty treats like these. Oh my goodness. And Kim, I don't know if you know how hard it is. Christine and I went and got a couple of muffins from Lola's that you made yesterday. I have no idea if you know how hard it is not to have eaten this almond blueberry muffin, but I'm gonna let you come off mute and tell us all about yourselves so I can finally eat this muffin.
Thank you, Christopher. And good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for attending Friday Networking. I'm Kim Clifton. I'm the owner of Sirius Baking Company. For those who may not be familiar with me, I'd like to give you a little bit of background. I've been a pastry professional in one way or another for 22 years, which when I wrote some notes, and when I wrote that down, I was like, whoa, that's, I can remember when I started and I was like, how will I ever get through this career? I worked in Chicago for about 16 years, working my way up from pastry line cook to executive pastry chef. I've worked in fine dining and casual restaurants, the Four Seasons Hotel, an upscale catering company. I did a 1-year stint at Blue Hill at Stone Barns, working for Dan Barber in New York. So I have a lot of different experience. And my husband and I moved here in 2013, and I found it impossible to find a job that I was qualified for. So I said, okay, fine. And I started my own catering company in 2015. It was intended to focus on pastry, but I ended up taking whatever came my way, which included in-person, all out parties with all kinds of food from 20 to 100 people. I even did, in 2019, I did a Kentucky Derby Day party at Portland Meadows for 300 people. That was, I found my limit. But 2019 was a fantastic year for my business. Like I really hit my stride. I was super excited about 2020. And then there was a worldwide pandemic and everything came to a screeching halt. So in 2020, I tried to start my business again and again, and nothing felt right or safe. And there were some personal family things that came up. And so I just shut the whole thing down and kind of waited it out. And in the meantime, I got really involved in the chamber and in other community groups and just trying to keep my head above water and just kind of stay involved. And then this past February 2021, a couple of opportunities came up for me at the same time. Joe Buck needed pastries for Lola's, and I had kind of been nudging him about Lola's for the past year. So he finally reached out and said he needed pastries, and the Lake Grove Farmers Market was taking applications. So I thought, well, I think it's time to get out there and do it again. So I got involved in both of those things, and so I'm doing solely pastry right now, which is really is my comfort zone. It's my background, it's my happy place. So I'm really pleased. Getting back into work was hard, I'm not going to lie, in many ways, physically also. But I found myself the other day thinking, wow, I'm excited to go to work. And that's something really new. So that was lovely. So going forward, I'm going to focus on baking and pastry. Right now, as Christopher said, you can find my products at Lola's and at the Lake Grove Farmers Market, which I just did on March 21st. Julia Fowler was there with me, helping me, and for which I am incredibly grateful. Thank you, Julia. You were a massive help. And thank you everybody who came out to support us. Between Julia and me, we knew about 75% of the people there that came through the market. And that was so fun. And the guy next to me who kept telling us, you know, all about his experience and how experienced he was, and he kept giving me tips. He said, wow, you know everyone. And I said, well, my friends do call me the mayor of Boone's Ferry, which cracks me up. They don't really, they actually call me the mayor of Zupans. But anyway, I will be at the market again on April 11th and 25th. And as I said, you can find me at Lola's. You can also, if anybody needs pastry products at any time for any reason, you can always reach out. I do special event cakes. I do corporate gifts. You know, reach out and see what I could possibly do for you. Or if you just want more information or you're just curious, you know, give me a shout out. I'm going to put my information in the chat when I'm done here. And I think that's about all I have to say. Thank you so much for being here today. I actually really like Zoom because no one can see your hands shake while you're speaking, right, Nicole? Yeah, I'm going to put my information in the chat and let me know if you need anything. Thank you so much. Christopher?
Absolutely, Kim. Everybody just heard Kim say that she found her happy place in baking and pastry, and apparently she's also found my happy place. Kim, that was fantastic. I've got half a muffin left. You didn't talk long enough. That was absolutely delicious. And so this is also a gluten-free muffin. Kim, I can't believe it. What is this almond blueberry thing you've done? Highest possible recommend. So thank you so very much. And I do encourage you all to reach out to Kim, whether it's personally for a task or at Lola's or at the farmer's market in Lake Grove. So thank you so much, Kim. And also thank you for all that you do for the chamber. The one thing that we didn't get to mention in her introduction is she's also quite a friend and a great walking partner as well. If you can keep up with those long legs of hers, that is. So Liz, do you have all the news that's fit to print for our community here?
Oh, I think I have some, maybe not exciting news, but informative news. And if you have any businesses that you can share this with, please do so. All of this has been in the newsletter, but just want to make sure you know that the PPP application period has been extended from March 31st to May 31st. And I believe we have a banker on here today, Matt Chrisman. So if you have questions about it, when you're in a group, you may be able to ask him. But that's kind of important for anyone who's had some COVID challenges on funding. Travel Oregon has some competitive and recovery grants available. They have to be applied for by March 31st. And if you did not see it in the newsletter, just shoot me an email and I'll shoot you the link on how you can apply for a Travel Oregon grant. It includes beautification in business districts. So if you are in a business area that you think needs a little beautification, there's an opportunity to look for grant money there. This Sunday in Millennium Park at 4 o'clock, will be an Asian American Pacific Islander community silent walk. Just meet at the fireplace in Millennium Park to support our Asian American and Pacific Islander community. And wanted to thank you if you were one of the businesses that completed the Clackamas County survey about what you would do if we can advocate for more money, CARES Act money, American Recovery money from the county. This is going to help in advocacy for businesses who were represented within the survey. So thank you. When you complete these surveys, it helps us advocate for your business. And don't forget the Lake Grove Farmers Market. It's going to be running Sundays through the end of April from 1 to 5 p.m. That's off Douglas Way. You heard Kim talk about it there. You'll see a lot of people you know and meet some folks you don't know. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Liz. And without further ado, as we mentioned, we've got a few new people here. So Fiona, if you'll come off mute, you've got a minute to tell everybody about yourself and why you're here.
Thank you for having me, everyone, and thank you to Jamie for inviting me. My name's Fiona Walker, and I recently started a business with my friend Two Fate Friends. We would get together last year during the pandemic outside, of course, for little happy hours and get-togethers with our friends, and we would bring our own individual appetizer boxes just to be COVID safe. So as time went on, we thought we would try and start our own business. So here we are. We currently offer 3 different boxes. We have a Mediterranean, a charcuterie, and an Italian box. And we deliver them anywhere local and within the metro area. So it's been going really well so far. People seem to enjoy it for Zoom meetings or parties. And they also like them for lunches or gifts for friends. So they're ideal for all sorts of different activities. And as they say, they seem to be going well. The best bit about it all is that we give 10% of all of our sales to hunger fighters. So it's a great opportunity for us to give back to the community. Also, there's a great need for it right now. So we're really pleased to be able to give something back. So I've got a couple of little boxes here just to show you. This is what the boxes actually look like. So as I say, there's 3 different ones and they're all packaged up slightly differently. And I brought the Mediterranean one just to show you. I can try and, that's what that looks like. So there you go. Thank you for having me. It's great to see you all. And I'll leave my information in the chat later on.
Absolutely, Fiona, please do. I don't know, did you see everybody lifting their head up as if that was going to help them get a better view inside the box? We've all got these fun Zoom habits. Well, I absolutely love that, Fiona. We got together, we did some stuff, and we thought it might be a business idea, so we decided to go ahead and do it. So congratulations to you and your entrepreneurial spirit, and welcome to our Friday morning networking. And thank you, Jamie, for inviting Fiona. So next, I know we've got a couple other new people. Please, my screen isn't showing everybody, so go ahead and come off of mute and introduce yourself.
I can go if that's all right.
Absolutely, Neil, there you are.
So my name's Neil Bauer. My wife and I have lived in Lake Oswego since 2008. My wife runs a design studio, so we've been around doing that here locally. But a couple years ago, I started helping game developers get their games developed. They would develop a game and then they would release it and they'd say, I'm done. And I'm like, no, that's when the hard part starts. That's when you have to market your game. And these are developers, they don't know how to do it. So we came up with a strategy of connecting game developers with streamers that were connected to charities. And so that's how we started Double Plus. Double Plus is where the developer gets a plus and the charity gets a plus because they can do charity drives. Well, since then, we now open it up to everybody. So we are now helping businesses connect charity events through YouTube, Twitch, and all other type of streamers. So we're about amplifying charitable activation is kind of what we do. So again, we're still doing the design on the back end, but this is now my new focus, and it's been since about 2018. And seriously, that is it in a nutshell. I could talk forever. So getting me at 45 seconds is a gift.
Well, thank you so much, Neil. Amplifying charitable activation. That is a sweet tagline. I suggest you lock that in. That's great. Again, welcome to our chamber networking, and it's a pleasure to have you here, Neil.
Pleasure.
And let's see, who else do we have that's new on this call? Please come off of mute.
Hi, Terry Carlson with Valleyscapes Landscape Solutions, back for a second meeting following Julia's beautiful, gracious departure. Super excited to get to know everyone and talk to you about any landscape maintenance needs you may have.
Absolutely, Carrie. Thank you for coming again. It's nice to see you. It seems as if you're on the go a lot, as both times we've seen you in your car.
Yes, this is essentially my office. Everyone says I'm like an Uber driver because I have everything you need here in my car.
There you go. I love it. Well, again, welcome back. Thank you for being here today, Carrie. And be
Thank you
sure
for
to put,
having me.
all of you, please be sure to put your contact information in the chat for everybody. And do we have somebody else? Is that Joyce?
Joyce
Yeah.
Honda here. Hi. Well, what a lively group. I am so glad that I woke up early to go ahead and join y'all. I am the president of the local Lake Oswego Kiwanis Club. So hello, everyone. We started our Lake Oswego Kiwanis Club in February of 2020, right before Governor Brown pretty much shut down the entire state. So it's been a challenge, an interesting time. We've done a lot of things to help the community virtually just to keep safe. So we're an organization that serves children, disadvantaged children. And I found out just through inquiring and taking informal surveys that we have 2 Title I schools in Lake Oswego. So River Grove and Oak Creek. So that's where we've been focusing a lot of our time in volunteer services. So we're starting a literacy program as soon as the kids get back in school to help remedial students. And we've also hosted like some family meals and other sort of things that involve helping children. So we're always looking for lively people like you all there. I'm born and raised in Seattle, and I'm a UW Husky for all of you ducks out there. But we have lived, my husband and I have lived in Boston, Chicago, and most recently in San Diego. And it was time to come back home to the Pacific Northwest. So we feel blessed to be part of this wonderful community. So thank you for having me, and I hope to be on some of the future meetings.
Absolutely, Joyce. Thank you for joining us and waking up early enough to hang out with us. Being a Husky as you are, my wife and I run a martial arts school, and we had a young boy, and it was clear that he was about 5 years old, and it was clear that his parents, one was a duck and one was a beaver. And so he was well aware of our local college rivalries. But the way this young boy sidestepped the whole thing is he just full on announced that he was a platypus. So there you go. With that, I'm going to say Liz is going to split us into some small groups so we can talk a little bit more intimately. And regarding the chat, I know sometimes there's a lot of good information that comes up in the chat. And I don't know if you're like, I've been like, well, I want to save that. And so I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to go through the chat. Well, at the end of this call, Liz is going to leave this open for a moment. And Katie will tell you how to save the chat. And so there's no rush. You can focus on your communications, and everybody will have a chance to grab any information out of the chat at the end. So with that, we'll break into small groups and we'll chat about the main thing that's going on for you and the main thing you'd like us to have in mind when we think of you and your business and we're talking to other members of our community.
All right. You will be in your group rooms for 12 minutes. You'll get a 3-minute warning. And then when you see that it's closing, you can keep talking and suddenly it'll swoop you back into the main room. So here we go. I have one change to make here and then you will be on your way. One moment, please.
Liz hasn't lost anybody yet. You don't have to worry about getting lost in the nether sphere. She sends you out and we'll bring you back too.
Here we go.